Hey, the following podcast may have some vulgarity, and we'd like to just warn everybody before we get started that it might contain explicit language. Okay. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod. Joined as always by my co-host.
Karen, is there a reason why we doing up front?
No, I was listening to a podcast today, and this. At the beginning, it was like the following podcast might contain some explicit language, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we've never done that." So you know what? Now y'all know. I saw the previous 2,500. We are
When you click, it says the E. E is for explicit. So if you click and you on your own, no, don't do no explicit. You just gonna have to be shocked.
We are live on a Wednesday night. We took yesterday off. I had to go get a vacuum cleaner. And it was just hijinks, and it didn't work right. It didn't go right.
Nope.
So,
I think it was for pets. It was not the normal vacuum cleaner.
We came back. Karen, we had to take an hour to get Karen set up on Supernatural.
Oh, that did take forever.
And then we said, you know what? They get enough stuff from us. Okay, if you premium, you got a new movie review this morning with me and JL Covan. They them. The movie we reviewed, the LGBTQ horror movie that came out on Paramount Plus. So, I mean, we're always working. We just no show last night, but it gives some of y'all time to catch up a little bit. Every little bit counts. The official weapon of the show is
the taser,
an unofficial sport.
What about
a bullet ball extreme? That's right. And you can do stuff like become a premium listener, the blackouttips.com/premium. Sign up. You can get stuff in our Teepublic Store. It is on sale right now. The link is in the show notes.
Yes, it is.
I promise you want to get on this. Don't forget it takes a little bit of time for shipping. So by the time it gets to you on September 2nd, when everyone is posting all their pictures in their fly gear, and you're going to feel left out like, oh, I wish I would have copped me a Blackout Tips mask or a hoodie or something. But now I ain't got nothing. And look at all the cool kids out here having fun, and I'm just sitting here on the outside, on the inside, looking out at everybody go play. So go ahead and get that Teepublic. Why don't you? You can donate to the show right on the front page of the blackouttips.com. So there's a bunch of ways to get involved.
It is.
Did I already say the official weapon?
Is the taser.
Unofficial sport.
Bullet ball.
Bullet ball extreme. Okay, we got that out the way.
You could repeat it. I wouldn't care. I just go with the flow.
All right, we'll get into the show. I will just say that when you are buying a vacuum and you want to pick it up from like Best Buy, make sure just because you type in vacuum doesn't mean that's what they're gonna show you. Which I learned the hard way, because I put in vacuum and it brought up some type of deep carpet cleaner, which is not the same as a vacuum.
No, it's not.
And when I got home, because they put it in the trunk because I did curbside, when I got home opening up, I realized my error. It was very easy to return, but still.
I saw some dogs on the side. I was like, oh, this vacuum cleaner must be a pet cleaner. Roger was like, pet cleaner. I was like, yeah, you don't just see no picture of the Shih Tzu or whatever it was on the side of the box.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe a 2-in-1. I was reading that shit. I was like, oh, I'm not even finna put this together.
Like a solution thing. I was like, we need a solution.
This is all fucked up. So I had to return it had to go return that thing. Y'all know how it is.
Yes, talking about us not doing the show. I'm glad I finally got set up for the Supernatural, and I did what Roger did. I did the thing called Flow, and it was a lot of fun.
It's so fun.
And yeah, because Roger had talked about it, and I was like, okay, I want to do it, because we got like the 30-day free trial. So when you get it set up and you go in, you can pick like the type of music. And I was like, I want hip hop. And they was playing like Kendrick and NWA and stuff like that. And it actually goes.
With Coach Doc. That was the one I did.
It actually goes to the beat. So if you know the songs, which those songs I did, you actually are like singing along and you like move. So it causes you to actually do extra movement because you're actually singing and you're bopping and you're bipping and you're turning all around and just following the instructions. And I had a ball, and Roger said it's the same thing, but I felt like I even though I know they quote unquote can't see you, but I thought there may have been sensors or somewhere in there because he was telling me to like blink my eyes because I didn't realize I was not blinking, but that's probably something that people must automatically do their first time on it, just stare at the screen. So he was like, blink your eyes. I was like, oh shit, I'm not blinking. I'm like, I'm trying to hit the shit in front of me and I wasn't blinking. And sometimes I wasn't even breathing properly because you're supposed to consistently breathe, but you're trying to concentrate. So they were just telling me to relax my body, It's okay. Don't be tense. You don't have to get it perfect.
I think it's one of the first ones that people do that class because they take you through the instructions and the tutorials, and then they like pick a class, and I think it's a short one that's low impact. So I think that's why it has some of those like open your eyes, blink or whatever, because it's everybody's first class, and that's how people are. I think that's how people are looking at it.
Yeah, so he walked me through it, so I enjoyed it. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna definitely do that again. Oh, and another thing that I really liked about it is the scenery. Like every time the song changed, the landscape changed. So it literally takes you like all over the world. I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I would like to visit one day. So I had myself a ball, and that's why we ain't had no show yesterday because I was over there flowing it.
Yeah, and they have so many. I did a different one today that was like longer. With a different coach, and it was old school hip hop. And
I bet you that's fun.
Yeah, man, it was. I mean, it's you don't have to leave your house. It's 108 degrees out, and you don't want to, die taking a walk. So it's like, oh, okay, let me hit this up. So
and they encourage you to move. They was like, yes, take big swings. So whenever you do it, be sure there's nothing around you, because you'll fuck around and knock a kid out of somebody. Somebody get too close to you because you can't see them.
Yeah, so it was fun. And we're having fun. All right, let's get into the show. I don't think I have any coronavirus news stuff. Just because I don't think much has been getting reported in the last few days.
I know people acting like coronavirus ain't a thing, so they was like, "I've been reporting on it."
Yeah, we moved on to monkeypox, everybody. The one thing, someone hit me up on Twitter about this, and I think they just wanted me to talk about it. The one thing that I noticed, and you almost hate to be right about some shit like this, but yeah, the media is disappointed with this whole Trump documents thing and the raid, quote unquote. I'm already seeing people decry and bemoan the power and authority of the FBI, and Republicans said defund the FBI. So now you got some liberal people who've been wanting, they want to defund everything, defund police, defund this. You got those people trying to use this as a moment, which is the most pussy-footed like fallback ass shit I ever heard in my life. You got this nigga on the precipice of jail, and right as it's time to start like grinding the gears, because this is going to be an expanding investigation, all of a sudden you start talking about some, well, I just don't want to see anybody get it. It reminds me of there was a person on Twitter who was huge on like mute R. Kelly, stop R. Kelly, look what he's doing to our girls, he's a sex trafficker, he's this, that, and the other. And so he ends up finally getting charged, put in handcuffs, and he's in court. And then she put something on Twitter to the extent of, I just hate to see, a black man go to jail, some shit. And it's like, what the fuck else was the point?
Right.
Because there's no in between thing where this guy just goes, oh, y'all were serious about me molesting girls, I should stop. Okay, I get it now. My bad, everybody. He was going to do it as long as he was not in jail. So these are the results. And to me, Trump fucked around as much as anyone could, and he's finding out right now. And now you got people saying shit that to me sounds goddamn insane.
It's fucking ridiculous. I've come to the conclusion, particularly on social media, not the public, because a lot of what they're reporting, a lot of these swings is definitely social media, because if you ask most people in the general public, even a lot of Republicans, that nigga need to go to jail. What are we talking about? He need to go to motherfucking jail. He tried to take over the motherfucking government. He was a horrible ass president. He did all kinds of fucked up shit that was illegal. He needs to be held accountable. And this is not the first time that the FBI has raided somebody's house for doing some fuck shit. It's not. I do not understand.
Yeah, they got real. There for the grace of God go I. It's like, nigga,
they're not coming for you.
Well, even if they did, like, the rest of us have been living in a world where if the FBI decided to raid your house, it wouldn't be shit you could do anyway. Like, they got a warrant, then they can do it. This was not a violent raid. No one got hurt or injured or whatever. This wasn't an overstepping of authority. They had been asking this man to send documents to them for months, and he was refusing to because he just feel like he ain't got to do nothing nobody tell him to do. Right. So it was their legal authority. And also, the DOJ is not the public relations wing of the White House or the administration. They are not obligated to be giving you step-by-step breakdowns of what they do every day. And they shouldn't have to do that shit, because honestly, the motherfuckers that are criminal watching just as much as you are.
Right.
So, like, why would you ever fucking inform somebody? And not to mention, the months of correspondence was a fucking warning. I saw this tweet from Seth Mandel this morning. If you don't have anything to hide, you shouldn't mind being investigated by powerful government agencies line is wrong in every context. It is, in fact, obviously wrong. Even if you support increasing the enforcement power of the FBI, IRS, whatever, for other reasons. This is that straw man shit. Nobody is talking about, well, if you don't got nothing to hide, you should just let the FBI. Nobody's talking about that. Like, you just found some straw man to try to turn Trump into some type of victim here. That's not what happened to him.
And he's not a victim.
They're not just randomly investigating him.
Right.
Another dude said, someone said, if the raid on Mar-a-Lago was not justified, then what? In the National Review. And this guy said, let's define terms. If per George Conway and David Axelrod, the unprecedented nature of this raid suggests it was justified. What happens if it wasn't? I want specifics. What does justified look like? Who is fired if it's not met? What would it tell us? All these goddamn questions to hint towards, like, well, they might have overreached with their power of doing this. Trump was probably doing nothing wrong. We've been having January 6 meetings the whole fucking summer. You know he's dirty. You know all that evidence. What more do you need and this is not to say he's even guilty. What more do you need to know that he should be investigated?
And the bare minimum is investigated. And the thing that kills me is that people see what he's been doing, and a lot of these same people complained about the shit that he was doing and he was taking away. You fussed, you moaned, you begroaned, do something, and now they're doing something, and now you want to act like them doing something is quote unquote stepping a line and crossing a boundary. And it's one of those things where it frustrates me about the general public, particularly online, because you sound stupid and you sound dumb to me. And it's the thing where now it's time for him to be held accountable, and now you don't want him to be held accountable. Then what, bitch? So he can go run for office again and take us through the mud again. It's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't want to repeat. I don't want to go through the cycle again. It makes no sense. He has no morals. He has no scruples. He will not back down, and he will do whatever he can while he can. He's got to be stopped. That's the only way to stop that train, because he does not give a fuck. He doesn't care about your rules and regulations. He doesn't care about your gentleman's agreements. He doesn't care. He says, I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. And that's what he's done his whole goddamn life. And nobody has told him no. Nobody has told him you can't do that. Nobody has told him you're breaking the law. Nobody has told him that. And so because of that, this is how you get to this situation where they've been asking, begging, pleading, calling. They've been doing everything they can to get shit out of him. And he has been refusing. So they was like, bitch, fuck you did. We just gonna go take the shit, and there's not a motherfucking thing you can do about it.
Yeah, and the other part of it is this to me extends to the whole Rachel Maddow, Tucker Carlson thing I was talking about the other day. It's to them, this is a game. going to jail, being investigated by the DOJ is a real life consequence that is outside of the game. Like the game to them has always been like, we'll shame Trump and then Trump will be shameless, but it'll be good ratings. It'll be good TV. It'll be interesting. Isn't it so interesting? We're always so interested in these kind of villains and shit like that. But there's never like they do not see him the same way that she doesn't see Tucker Carlson as an existential threat to democracy and the well-being of people, and that his words and things have real impact and affect a lot of people in negative ways. She doesn't see it that way because they're friendly or they're just calling balls and strikes. It's just a friendly game of touch football. To me, I think a lot of people a lot of white media people looked at Donald Trump as they're playing touch football with him. He's a media guy. He's a media personality. He comes from celebrity, and all this stuff to them was still a game. Even his bigotry, even his racism, even his hatred, even his grifting and immorality, even the insurrection. To them, it's like it's like this game he was playing, and now it's like, wow, y'all really took that serious? It's like, yes,
because I'm the people who have been impacted by it are like, yes, I want something done to him. And a lot of these people have not been impacted by it. They have not been directly impacted by it. Or if they have, they don't think that it's only going to go but so far. So as far as they're concerned, this will never, quote unquote, directly impact me. And the thing I get mad about it, because to me, it's not a motherfucking game. It's not a joke. It's not a ha ha ha. None of that. The shit that he did had real consequences to real people. Do you know all those people that died of COVID because of his fucked up lying? He knew the shit. He lied. A lot of deaths are laying at his feet, and you don't give a fuck because of motherfucking ratings. I don't care about your ratings. Your ratings mean nothing to me if I become a slave. Your ratings don't mean a motherfucking thing to me. You don't care about my rights.
And ultimately, this reminds me of just, once again, this is why I read. It reminds me of how Reconstruction only lasted 8 years, and it's kind of the same thing with the Obama administration. Ta-Nehisi Coates makes the allegory greatly in his book, We Were 8 Years in Power, which harkens back to Reconstruction, but it really feels like that. Like, I always wondered, like, how the fuck did Reconstruction just, like, people believed in, they were so strongly convicted, they fought a war. They went and died. They killed people, as they like to romanticize, brother taking up arm against brother and shit. They went and killed other people to prove a point. And within 8 years of that point, the sympathy they had for the people who tried to stage the insurrection, who tried to overthrow the country, the sympathy they had in their common whiteness, the fact that these racist, rapists, slavers were like, but what about me? Poor me. What I am now, the Negroes are walking around, they're free, they're rubbing it in our face. You did this to us. We are victims, and it is up to you as good white folks to come down here, to get out of here and let us reassert control with the most violent tactics we have. And that's what they did. Yes. They abandoned black people who were supposed to be citizens now. They abandoned them to the machinations of those racist, cowardly white people in the South that used to own slaves and shit. And whenever I read that, especially when I was younger, I just didn't understand. I was like, but how? Like, what were the events? What was the moment? But the truth of the matter is, there was never one moment. There was never a time that the majority of white folks, even the good ones, truly wanted to hold the South accountable.
Right.
Even the war took so much longer because they didn't treat it like a war. Like, it wasn't until Tecumseh Sherman and I'm forgetting the other dude's name, but it wasn't until they burned They just like, fuck it, we burning Charleston.
Right. We don't have time for this bullshit. Let's get this shit over with.
Yeah, no more occupying the land and giving the land back. We're destroying the land.
Somebody said Grant.
Yes, yeah, Grant. They basically said, listen, man, no more of that. Ulysses Grant and Tecumseh Sherman was like, we just burning shit then. Fuck them. Treat them like the enemy. No more of this gentlemanly civil agreement. We don't want to fuck your barn up too much. No, we're burning your shit down. We're raising it. We're fucking up all your crops. We're telling the black people y'all free and getting the fuck out of there. And they just treated it that way. And that's how you won the war. But for so long, they couldn't. So that means the whole war, there were people that were like, man, we don't got to go that hard, do we? And that's how this feels. Within what, a year? Because January 6, 2021, right? So with a little over a year and a half or so, you already got these people who have been going on TV talking about Donald Trump needs to pay, talking, saying sounding the alarm, mad at Merrick Garland for not doing enough, not doing it too fast. And this is why I said I have to play the I was right sound, I've been right about all of it. We've been right about all of it. Woo! Yes. Yes. The reason I'm playing that is because I told motherfuckers when Merrick Garland put out that memo, when he wasn't going out here and saying Trump's name in public, it was all to avoid this. And people was like, nah, he should just say it. Don't worry, just say it. Don't worry about that. I want some real Democrats that'll do. First of all, he's not elected Democrat, so shut the fuck up there. But two, the only defense Trump has is the one he's using, which is this is a political targeted witch hunt that is retaliation just because I'm too good of a Republican and they scared I'm gonna win the election again. So this is all political theater. And honestly, Merrick Garland was right to not even say his name, to not be cutting promos so that y'all
could feel good.
People, right? So people could go on the air and be like, "Hey, I'm Chris Hayes," and it's all siggity. Like, no, we're not. We're gonna treat this like fucking adults are supposed to treat shit. That's what you do,
right?
I always said the thing that Biden gets about this that almost no other, definitely almost none of the people on social media get, and almost no other politician truly got. The opposite of Trump is not Democrat Trump.
Right.
The opposite of Trump is adulthood, it's responsibility, it's maturity. It's not sniping, it's not tweeting in the middle, it's not going off the handle in a press conference. That's the difference. The opposite of Trump isn't flashy. It's no flash. It's boring.
It's boring.
It's supposed to be boring.
Yes, the shit is supposed to be boring. What about that don't people understand?
And
I'm okay with a boring ass president. I don't need my president consistently being on Front Street. I don't give a fuck. Do your goddamn job.
Yeah, the opposite of Trump is not every night you have a press conference or a rally, or you go say, I'm gonna get Trump. I'm gonna get you, Trump. Like, that's not what this is about. Feeding red meat to people. No, it's passing legislation when it's tough. It is compromise. It is working within the system. It is trying to restore faith in that system, and that the wheels and the mechanisms of government can be used for positive things as they've been used in the past. So like some of the stuff that people claim to want, they sound like babies because with little attention spans, because they really want the spectacle and something to talk about. To me, they raided the house. That's something to talk about. I don't need them to do a press conference and then go on all the fucking Sunday shows and then tell us exactly what's going on. I don't need that. Nope. Do your job. I'll trust you if you just do your job.
And that's all that I ask. And I think a lot of people are addicted to the spectacle, and you can tell people are addicted to the spectacle because every time they have the January 6th committee thing, people talk about how boring it is. People talk about it. Don't nobody give a fuck about that. They are trying to get facts. And
even when they talk about they like it, they're still talking about the spectacle of it.
Yes, it's all for particularly for a lot of people online, it is a spectacle. There are some people, this is their job, blah, blah, blah. But I'm talking about for a lot of people, it is a motherfucking spectacle. It is a game to them. Right. And so since it's a game to me, everything associated with it, these are actors, these are characters, these are avatars. I treat this as like I treat Love and Hip Hop. I treat this as like I treat Housewives. I'm rooting for a team. But, you know, there are real life consequences behind this, and people are being directly impacted and affected. People that you know, everyday people that you know are being impacted by these decisions and these choices that are made, and so many people are treating like it's a game. And the thing is, you know, when you talk to most people that are not online, they're like, yeah, go get them, lock them up.
Yep. All right, let's get into the other news. So like I said, I got hit up on Twitter where people were like, man, I can't wait to hear Ron talk about this. I was like, I mean, yes, I do want to talk about it. I was right, but also, God damn, you know what I mean? Like, way to go. Like, these motherfuckers are always gonna pull up short, man. Like, you cannot trust. And look, I hate to make it racial, but specifically a lot of white liberals are the ones that are pushing it this time. It's not like a everybody thing. Like, it's a specific type of white person that just talked all that shit but was not about the smoke. And there's a lot of white people that's not like that. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, wow shit. All right, let's get into some news. Where should we start? A Pro-MAGA company, they're a clothing company, has been fined more than $200,000 for ripping off made in China tags and swapping them with made in USA labels. Everything they do fake.
Everything.
Like,
so unoriginal.
Fools and their money. What does it feel like? You know what I mean? What does it feel like? According to the FTC's original complaint, the company cut out tags that showed the garments originated in foreign countries and printed made in USA on the neckline. This practice is believed to occur between May and October 2021. Wayland and Lions, not sheep, must not claim the product. The name of the company is Lions, not sheep products.
Lions, not sheep.
It's so funny because it just
the jokes write themselves.
It's just right. It's so funny just because everything they do be the opposite. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just mimic. 1 million moms is 2 white dudes. You know, like that shit. Lions, not sheep, must stop claiming the products are made in the United States unless they can show the product's final assembly or processing. Per its website, all products are imported from multiple domestic and international vendors and suppliers through a U.S.-based wholesaler who then ships them to America to be printed, tagged, and bagged. Proof of their deceit was shared on social media in an October 2020 post. Wayland said in a video that he could hide the fact that the shirts were made in China by simply removing the original tags and replacing them with American labels. Now the lies were caught up to him and his pro-Trump brand, costing him $211,335 in fines.
And I actually think that's too low because a lot of times y'all doing this shit, but ain't these the same people y'all don't like? Y'all don't want over here, but y'all show take that cheap ass labor because if this shit was really made in America, whatever it costs, probably double the triple price. So y'all don't want to pay American wages though, but yet you want to claim that it's made in America. Okay.
Neo says Ice-T once let him squeeze his wife Coco's butt at a Halloween party. Okay. All I'm saying is this. He was on Drink Champs when he told this story. Neo told us to respect his privacy. Just feel like you're telling us all your business.
You're not respecting it. We didn't have to know. That's between y'all.
Yeah. I mean, I think if my woman was accused, this is just me, but if my woman was accusing me of cheating on her and, you know, saying that I was out here, you know, uncondom giving STDs and shit, I probably wouldn't tell this story at this point.
Nope, y'all here gallivanting.
it probably just wouldn't be the time to tell the story. I'm not saying you can never tell the story,
that pain,
but this definitely will be the time to not tell the story, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. Yeah, he says all three of them were at a Halloween party. After a couple of drinks, he literally walked up to Ice-T and admitted to him he always wanted to touch his wife's butt. Because mind you, she had some shit on, right? So I walked up to him. I was like, bro, all due respect, I wanted to squeeze Coco's ass for a really long time. And he said, you know what? I'm just the kind of pimp that will let you do it. Ice-T then called his wife over, whispered something in her ear. Next thing you know, she turned around and bent that thing over. I grabbed as much of a handful as I could. He says afterward, Ice-T gave him the brotherly pound and handshake, and they drank and hung out the rest of the night. That makes sense, though. I feel like Ice-T would let you do that. And I feel like Coco has that body for that reason.
Yeah.
Like, because he's so flagrantly like, I'm a pimp, and, you know, y'all want my wife, she the baddest bitch. I can see Ice-T being cool like that.
Right. But that's an agreement that y'all made that we didn't have to know nothing about.
I just don't understand telling me to mind my business. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But it's, you know, that's fine. That's what you wanted to share. Angela Yee announced her departure from the Breakfast Club.
I was seeing that. I didn't know what was happening. Twitter was just ablaze with Breakfast Club stuff. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, it was a very weird thing because she tweeted out at like 9:00 the night before, the Breakfast Club as you know it is officially over, with the hands that make a heart emoji. And so people thought, is the show over? Is it being taken off the air? Is
the host changing? Like, what's
people thought they were moving to like lunchtime or something. I saw a lot of speculation, and supposedly she's gonna do her own syndicated radio show, which is also gonna be, if I'm not mistaken, on like iHeart or wherever. It's like wherever the Breakfast Club is hosted.
Okay.
So it's not like you know, it's not like she's going somewhere so far away. Right. You know, she's hosted her own stuff before, podcasts and stuff.
Don't she have her own podcast? Yeah.
So yeah, I think she even had her own morning show at one point. Yeah, the morning after with Angela Yee. So but yeah, now she's gonna do her own show starting this fall. It'll be a daily show. So it's always been the goal of mine. Charlamagne and Envy are gonna still be there. You know,
yeah, but she has a following.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, they can always, and like honestly, you wonder at some point, like, what point has your profile been raised as high as it's going to get there? Because at some point they almost hurt her brand to be on the show with those two guys, not because like the popularity, but because sometimes they say shit that goes against the brand and the things she claims to represent. So it's probably hard for her, because you know, whenever you hear her question about that shit, she always has to do the, well, that's them, you know, I didn't agree, but you know, she has to play her part and let those, you know, when Charlamagne's sniffing butts on the seats, she has to let that happen, because it's, you know, good for the quote unquote show, quote unquote good for the show. You know, it's going to be controversial, but it's good for the show. But then later when she's talking about like Me Too and stuff, people are like, you work with, what are you talking about? How could you possibly stand for these things? And so I don't know, maybe she had gone as far as she could there. It does sound like and maybe it's just they're playing it up for the show. But it sounded like Envy and Charlamagne were taken by surprise, which would be interesting to me. I didn't listen. Randolph told me that part.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm like, that's interesting, because
if they announce that she's doing the show, obviously this would be something that they would be aware of.
That's what I would think.
Right.
And then honestly, man, like they can go and find, and there's no disrespect to Angela, but for the role of what she did on that show, they can go find a lot of people to do that role, which is the woman that just is slightly offended at what the guys are talking about but won't stop anything. So it's a lot of like, wow, okay, you know, that kind of shit. As these guys are asking like very fucked up questions and stuff. So I don't know that, you know, it's a big you know, I don't even know that. Like I said, I don't. Is the role of the show if they just want to go find that again? I don't even know that that's a big deal who they find there, since they didn't really seem to let her do shit, you know.
Not a whole lot. So it might be one of the things where she might be like, you know what, I'm tired. I want to do my thing, which makes sense.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But kind of like Jesus and Mero, I mean, it's a big moment, but and unless, you know, same thing happened with Jesus and Mero, unless there's some like acrimonious stuff coming out, which there was for a little bit with Jesus and Mero and stuff, we'll see it. Like if either they'll, you know, knowing those guys, they'll either go on the show and talk that shit if it's really bad, or, you know, somebody will tweet something or something if it's really that bad, and if it's really just a, you know, amicable parting of ways, then hopefully everybody be professional about it.
Agreed.
Christian TV host, vegetarian hamburgers are a Luciferian plot to change human DNA. Right-wing pastor Rick Wiles on his True News program Wednesday evening suggested that meat alternative companies are trying to create new foods in an effort to alter human DNA in order to cause human beings to no longer be technically classified as humans, which is something that will make it impossible for those people to be saved by Christ.
Sir, this is a Beyond Burger. Will you please get out the line?
I love how they always know, like, what God can't do.
Right.
Like, God is the mightiest guy. He's so strong.
But they be like above and beyond, can do anything but fail. But for some reason, when it comes to this,
like, he knows everything, but at the same time, he's totally blindsided by everything. You know, it's like, well, we didn't know they was gonna let the gay people get married. Oh, it was gonna be a vaccine. We didn't know that was gonna, like, God couldn't have possibly known that.
Oh, word.
He's all knowing and he sees everything.
Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end.
Anytime something fucked up happens, they can't wait to tell you that, you know, this is God's plan and he works in mysterious ways. But anytime they don't like something, God is good. This is gonna hurt God. God gonna reach the limits of his powers. Oh, I was able to save humans. I didn't realize y'all DNA was gonna be altered. And damn, that extra A, B, C, D, whatever DNA link. Oh man, you gotta go to hell. Sorry. Also, like, wouldn't the devil also be flummoxed? Like, wouldn't this also keep
everybody confused?
Yeah, wouldn't this also keep me going to hell? Because if so, I'm gonna eat vegetarian burgers for the rest of my life. Think about it. I mean, you don't go to heaven, but it's a guarantee of no hell. I mean, you can't get better than that.
You can't miss.
The devil, like, oh, this nigga got the
almost had you.
The extra DNA. He got the extra DNA plus.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
Crazy.
That's how I feel right now. Okay.
He believes people will soon not even be given a choice of real or meatless foods, and that fast food restaurants will make the switch without giving us an option to keep meat in your diet. Because, you know, McDonald's can't wait to fucking have that shit thrown back in their motherfucking customer. I mean, back in their face of they workers. When you go to your favorite fast food restaurant, you're going to be eating a fake hamburger. Let me tell you something, buddy. If you go into a fast food restaurant, you're probably eating a fake hamburger as is. That 100% beef is not 100% beef.
It's a little bit of everything and a little bit of meat. Like, they go, by American standards, they go, it's meat, but everybody else go, we ban that shit.
Even in the grocery store, it's only 98%. You know, like, it's no way McDonald's is 100%.
Something it's something mixed up in there. No, sir. Right. Somebody said Cracker Barrel. I was like, is he the one up there protesting at the Cracker Barrel?
I would imagine so. Wiles added he believes this is a nightmare world and that seeks to change God's creation. Meatless companies want to be God, he added. The ultimate goal, he believes, is to bring more people to Satan.
By saying it's an alternative to beef?
If that's all it takes to go to Satan, then I mean, it's over.
Oof, the standards are low.
Just good grief. All right, let's see what else is happening. How about this? Madison County Schools stock AR-15s to prevent mass shooting.
Who got them? The teachers? Is they all locked up in the closet in one location, so don't nobody have access to them? So when they come and shoot up school, everybody gotta run to the principal's office. But I don't understand.
We've been having mass shootings so long that the people doing the mass shootings took the mass shooting drills. So
Yes.
at what point will a student get a hold of an AR-15 or some shit?
And
that'll
mow the
be-
whole classroom down.
Yeah. Sheriff of a North Carolina Mountain County said he will stock all public schools with AR-15 rifles this year, so deputies had quick access to a more high-powered firearm in case of a mass shooter. Let me tell you something. In the hallways of Uvalde, they had all the guns, all the vests, everything, and they still stood their ass in there because that motherfucker had an AR-15. They didn't want that smoke.
Mm-hmm. Even if you got one, guess what? Them motherfucking bullets still real.
Every day you turn on TV and somebody's been shot, somebody's been stabbed, somebody's been murdered, raped, said Sheriff Buddy Harwell when he announced the initiative in a 5-minute Facebook video in June. We live in Western North Carolina. We live in Western North Carolina, a rural county. But we got to be prepared, even if our rural counties, for the enemy when he tries to come in and destroy our children. The sheriff's initiative gained national media attention on Friday after Asheville news outlets reported down the AR-15s, including that the county school officials were ready to welcome the firearms. School officials met as recently as July 26th with law enforcement officials about updated safety measures. How do you have a school meeting and everybody don't just walk out at this point? I got a solution. More guns. But not just any gun. The guns that are used in the majority of mass shootings. We need our own AR-15s. This is the shit I hate about gun ownership in America, because every excuse to have a gun is an escalation of the fact that somebody else already got a gun. And then they use that to keep going up. You, as somebody that wants this shit to end, you can't understand how frustrating that is and how much I don't give a fuck about you personally and how you feel when I'm looking at the big picture of us owning more guns in America than there are Americans. And it's not like everybody got a gun. It's just a subsection of motherfuckers that just have too many guns. They think they copy them like fucking Jordan releases or some shit. And then it's not really for safety, but it's making us all, it's every time you look around, it's making things more dangerous. Our country is the only country with this goddamn problem.
You're right.
This is not it's not a video game.
Outlier.
It's not music. It's not a movie. It is us. And we just keep ignoring this shit. This should get that sheriff, like they should revote. Like, what? Are you crazy? No, we don't need more AR-15s. It's not going to solve anything. They'll be sitting in the closet while some fucking kids get shot up.
Right. Because one of them have access to it. I can't get to it. Gonna have a code or some shit on it. Like, it's stupid. And it's one of them. I'm glad I ain't got no kids. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna stay at the house. The shooter get us, he's gonna have to come in this bitch, because what you ain't gonna be doing is sitting up in there in the classrooms. And what's gonna happen is during the school year, they're gonna every time you turn around, they're gonna be reporting how some kid done got a hold of it, or some teacher done got a hold of it, or principal done got a hold of it, and mauled down a classroom, and nobody from the outside coming in. It's just somebody on the inside got access to them guns, or some students fuck around and steal them.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just ultimately not making anybody safer there. And then also, like, when people talk about defunding the police, this is the shit, because like, what? So y'all got money for AR-15s and strong, durable gun safes, so the weapons can be be secured in an undisclosed location in every school. Okay, so y'all got infinite money for that shit. People can't pay the teachers more. People can't get school supplies for the kids. Schools are making parents pay for their kids to play extracurricular activities.
Right. You right.
Like, why do y'all have all the money? You don't do shit, and you're not gonna stop this goddamn this will not stop some mass shooter. Most of the time, those motherfuckers don't even care about living anyway. So like this whole like we'll have the upper hand. Like, okay, after I've shot 30 kids, sure. And then I've shot myself, and y'all be standing outside looking at the vending machines and shit.
Right. And it's all fun and games till you fuck around and get sued.
Right.
Because trust, if my child gets shot up, I'm suing motherfucking everybody up in this bitch because these guns shouldn't have been in the first place.
Something will happen.
Right.
Something will happen.
A child get it and shoot themselves, even if they don't shoot nobody else. You're going to have a teacher commit suicide. You're going to have a problem.
All right. Let's see what else happened. A Lollapalooza security guard faked a mass shooting threat to leave work early.
Go to the jail.
On Friday, the second day of Lollapalooza, Janya Williams, 18, allegedly sent her supervisor an anonymous text.
18? You secure that? And who is you securing at 18?
Yeah, this is terrible. Janya Williams, guess the race. Janya Williams.
Black.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly sent her supervisor an anonymous text message that read, "Mass shooting at 4 p.m. Location Lollapalooza. We have 150 targets via text now." Her supervisor immediately notified supervisors. Okay. Reported it to Chicago Police Command Post in Grant Park. The FBI's Joint Counterterrorism Task Force was also notified of potential threat. When Williams' supervisor returned to her team, Williams told them that her sister alerted her to a mass shooting threat found on Facebook. Like, oh, there's another one. What a coincidence. Also, can I get off early today? Prosecutors said when Williams was asked to share a screenshot of the post, Williams created a Facebook page under the name Ben Scott and wrote out a post that read, "Massive shooting at Lollapalooza Grant Park, 6 p.m. Williams took a screenshot of the post without actually posting it to Facebook and then sent the screenshot to a supervisor. Through an emergency disclosure request, the FBI and Chicago police were able to determine that it was Williams who sent the initial threat to her supervisor using text now.
All of it is pinging your telephone number, your IP address. There's like, everything go back to your house and your telephone number, baby.
Right.
And like, we think it's you.
Definitely not me at gmail.com.
This is literally inside the house.
Yeah, prosecutor said when Williams was brought in for question, she admitted she sent the text message and created the fake post in order to leave work early. 18 years old. What a mistake. She was able to bond out. They set her bond at $50,000 with the condition she must be on electronic monitoring if she's bonded out. Oh, what a mistake. You're 18. It's just such an 18-year-old mistake.
Yes, because you do dumb shit at that age.
What a dumb thing to do.
Right,
man.
but you're basically committing a huge crime.
That's like terroristic threats and prison time shit. That's felony shit you just did.
Yes. You're causing panic to get out of motherfucking work. Just don't show up like a normal young person and say, fuck it, I'm not going in today.
Yeah, no call, no show like them other millennials.
Didn't Beyonce say quit your job? What is you doing?
Right. No show, no call like them other millennials and then do that video TikTok and claim it was racism. I mean,
yes.
Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing these days? What is happening?
I don't know.
Oh, you hate to see it. All right, let's get to another segment. Let's see. Let's do some LGBTQ news.
Let me see what you want to be. You better move your body. You better move your feet. And I want to groove. Show me what's cool. Riding, caring, baby. LGBTQ news. I try to take us down, but we still around. We lit. I try to still shine, but we on the ride. We lit. Cause you can't do what we thought to do. We lit. Black guys, LGBTQ news.
All right. Out former state lawmaker claims GOP lied to her about being pro-LGBTQ.
So they already out, but you said they lied to you?
This person who's out in the gay parlance,
mm-hmm.
They're openly queer.
Right.
they supported Republicans, that former Republican state lawmaker, and she's claiming that the GOP lied to her because the party made her think that they supported LGBTQ rights when they really don't.
Ooh, you have not been paying attention. You have failed this test.
Yeah,
and I don't believe you.
Yeah, how's that even possible?
I don't believe you.
I would love to interview this person. Hey, so
how old are they? Are they 18 too? Shit.
Right. So you said that you thought the Republicans were pro LGBTQ and you were fooled. What was it that led you to believe that they were pro LGBTQ?
Right.
You know, I'm open to the conversation. I think it, you know, it really is something that I think is a little bit multifaceted and layered. And so, yeah.
Come on.
That's how that conversation gonna go.
No fucking way, man.
Right. I don't believe you. You're saying that probably because you think you look stupid, but I don't believe you.
Out former New Hampshire state rep Yvonne Bailey wrote in a column for the Daily Beast that she claimed that the GOP was moving towards LGBTQ acceptance as signified with the election of Donald Trump in 2016.
Oh, I know you lying.
Donald Trump was the okay. She says as signified delay, but now it's regressing. I became more assured that Republicans had embraced gay marriage in 2016 when Donald Trump held a pride flag on the campaign trail. This is something no other GOP presidential candidate had done before ever. And then when he's banning trans people from the military and the state legislators are proposing all these like bathroom bills and type, none of this was a clue that maybe
Yeah, that one time has he said that he's pro LGBTQ? He didn't campaign on it.
If you were truly pro LGBTQ, wouldn't you already be voting Democrat? What is it that keep these motherfuckers voting Republican then?
Delusion.
I'm gonna have to look her picture up. She gotta be white, right?
Because like
only a white person be this dumb, right?
I said if it's one of us, shame.
She is white.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. At least I think she's white. Yeah. Her plan to improve our government. Yeah. Damn, like you that racist, huh? I was listening to that podcast, The Sum of Us, and you know the big conceit of The Sum of Us is the first episode is why we can't have nice things, and it talks about how white people shut down their own pools because black people were integrating pools, and it meant black people would be able to be in the pool with white people, and white people decided somehow that was the part that wasn't sanitary, even though they don't wash their legs.
Yep. And
they shut their own pools down. So now nobody can swim because they rather no one swim than the thought of a black foot being in the fucking pool with them.
Drain the whole water, everything. Just have everybody out here just hot.
And to me, this is a similar mentality. Because to me, what you're saying is, I hate X people, whether it be immigrant, whatever group you hate, the women, whatever group you hate them so much, you'll give up rights for your gay self. You'll side with the people who are like, I actually hate you too, but we both hate blank.
Yep.
Because there's nothing else that makes motherfucking sense to me. So yeah, that is. I became more reassured the Republicans had embraced gay marriage in 2016. We held that. She said that support appeared to be even stronger during President Trump's re-election campaign, despite the Trump administration's numerous attacks on LGBTQ rights, including allowing adoption agencies that get government funding to refuse to work with same-sex couples, banning transgender people from the military, arguing in court multiple times that religious freedom means allowing anti-LGBTQ discrimination. And on the other hand, Bailey argues the out podcaster David Rubin has a following on the right, so homophobia was over. She even said that as late as 2020, support for LGBTQ rights was stronger than ever, even though state Republican lawmakers were already starting to try to ban transgender kids from participating in school sports by then. Now Bailey wrote, things are different. Now, not even 2 years later, the right has started an all-out anti-gay panic that seriously threatens marriage equality. You know what this is? I figured it out. Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade got overturned.
Mm-hmm.
Clarence Thomas wrote that decision.
Now all of a sudden
she got scared.
Are like, oh my gosh, this shit is actually going to impact me, because they really didn't care because we all on this whiteness train,
right?
But then they was like, oh shit, you gonna affect me having a baby? Oh shit, you impact. Like, I didn't care before, even if I know that it was going to impact me. Not trying to funny. That's them poor gays. That's them poor LGBTQ. Like, that's them people that can't afford certain things. So, let them handle it. But all of a sudden, this shit is like, rich or poor, we don't care. And now it becomes a problem. That makes a lot of more sense.
It's crazy because the foundation of marriage equality is an Obama policy. That's only like 2012, maybe. Like, we're not talking about some long storied history here.
Mm-mm.
You were so sure that you wouldn't go back. You were like, Donald Trump and more Donald Trump, please. And then now you like, oh shit, y'all was serious about that whole overturning rights that's already been established. Mm-hmm. Well, what about my gay marriage? What's gonna happen to me?
Right? Is it gonna be valid? Now all of a sudden you have all these motherfucking questions, and then you want to talk to the manager and the supervisor and shit.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' administration moved forward with a proposal to deny coverage for transgender treatments. They moved forward with a proposal to deny Medicaid coverage for gender-affirming medical treatments such as hormone therapy or puberty blockers for transgender people. The state's Agency for Healthcare Administration, which oversees most of the Medicaid program, published a proposal in the Florida Administrative Register on Friday. Under the proposed rule, puberty-blocking medication, hormone therapy, sex reassignment surgeries, and other procedures used to treat gender dysphoria would not be covered under Medicaid. They would be considered not medically necessary. Services covered by Medicaid must be deemed medically necessary by law. Yeah, this is all for his gearing up to run for president.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They love this shit on the Republican side.
Oh yeah. Like I said, he's using the Donald Trump playbook. He literally was like, "What did Donald Trump do? Control, Alt, Delete, paste, bitch. I'm doing the same show."
They love this shit, man. Mm-hmm. It's fucking. He will be a front runner. I think he's only second in popularity to Donald Trump right now. And when it comes to the polls for running for president, now those polls are, not reliable, but I don't doubt the results there.
Right. And it's also one of those things too. Wouldn't be surprising if you have Republicans probably actually cheering for them to lock that nigga up too, even though they publicly are coming out and saying, they're against it, because they were like, we get him out the way, one of us can win that position. Because they know if he runs, odds are he will win.
Yeah, the joke was, since it was Mar-a-Lago in Florida, that DeSantis was like, oh yeah, he stay over there. In Minnie Mouse's dress, right-wingers see a penis and an LGBTQ conspiracy.
What?
Earlier this week, a photo started circulating on the encrypted messaging app Telegram, featuring Mickey and Minnie canoodling on the front of a $100 Target gift card. In the photo, Minnie is seen wearing a blue puffed sleeve dress, yet the post, which was shared to a conspiracy theorist channel with more than 50,000 followers, saw something far more sinister.
Do you have a picture?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They act like they was finger banging in the canoe. What's happening here?
Yeah, the beloved cartoon's mouse, demure blue dress and poster claim looks exactly like a penis, which Mickey happened to be gladly holding. The post went on to speculate about the potential connotations of said dick dress. Following the recent leaks from the company, chances this design is a mere coincidence and employees didn't notice are slim, in my opinion, it concludes. So here is him holding her in the dress, which is apparently a blue penis.
That's her body. Or else I'm not paying.
No, it's a blue penis, Karen. He's clearly sucking that blue, about to suck that blue dick. on this gift card. You give your kids this, you're giving them a penis. Now, what I find interesting here is Disney in the past has known to draw like lewd images and stuff, like animators will sneak stuff in as jokes or whatever, or even to protest, being underpaid or overworked. But what I find funny is if this is a dick in your mind, you think they drew a dick. It doesn't make sense unless you think a transgender woman under her dress is like 85% dick. Like the dick is literally the torso in this picture. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, even if you were to say like this is a dick, that how like no one is that much dick. This is insane.
It's all dick with and then just a bottom. Yeah, because it's a dress.
It's my goodness. Anyway, they're that's how much they hate Disney now, which is so funny because Disney to me is amazing. And I know it's not equal and it's not even, okay? But I'm about to say some triggering stuff here, which is both sides. I know it's my trigger too, but it is so funny on both sides of the Disney anger, because you got these motherfuckers that are mad that Disney is too woke, because Disney alludes to the fact that gay people exist. And you see in Lightyear, there's like a same gender kiss in the family and stuff. And, just the fact in the Marvel universe, there's like, I had my two moms. And what is so funny about that is there's people that are outraged. They're like, ban these movies. There's entire countries that are like, we might not show this Disney movie. Like China really be like, what the fuck you mean America got two moms? This multiverse of madness shit, it's not gonna be in the theaters long here. Get this shit the fuck out our face, right? And a lot of these companies need this Chinese box office in order to, offset the money they spend on these films. But the wild part is all my progressive friends hate, like they go see all this shit, but they hate Disney because they feel like they too conservative. It's not gay enough. Why are the gay people not fucking? Why the gay people not, doing passionate open mouth kisses on the screen? Even in Eternals, which had a gay couple in there and shit that was pretty
in the
explicit
first
about
sex
it.
scene.
Yeah, well, that's not really gay though. But even in that movie, people hate that movie. Even woke people are like, that's a bad one. That movie sucked. So it's just interesting. This company is in the middle of this anger from both. Like, it's like everybody want to boycott them, but for completely different reasons. And both sides think they're not doing enough. Well, it's wild. It's just, I can't imagine, being at that company.
Yeah. That's why you just put the shit out and keep it trucking, because nobody's gonna be satisfied no matter what you do.
Yeah, because like clearly they want to signal towards, because Disney is all about the money. They want to signal towards every group, like you're included. There's a place for you here. And if we're being frank, most of the Marvel universe is not sexy. Like it's sexy, but it's not sex, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Like it's very like Captain America taking his shirt off to chop some wood so you can see the 8-pack abs. Every man that gets a role in it got to get the motherfucking creatine going.
Yeah, you gotta be cut.
Yeah, the only sex scene we ever got was in Eternals, but in general, none of the characters have sex. Even if they deeply love somebody or like somebody, maybe there's a kiss or two in a movie. So it's a very not sex. It's not sex. It's sexy. It's sex-ish. They're very sex-ish movies. But when it comes to the LGBTQ people, and they get the sex-ish treatment where it's like, we're not gonna show y'all making love, we're not gonna show y'all tongue kissing. There's a lot of kiss on the mouth, kiss on the cheek, hugs, embraces, I love you, now let's go save the world. And the people I know are like, that's not enough. They need to fuck. If they're gay, I want These motherfuckers need to
I want to
strip
see
down.
some action.
They need to fuck in front of the whole world so that we can know that
it's real.
We can know that Disney is down with the cause, and then on the other hand, like literally 2 people hold hands and there's like, fuck this movie. Take away their tax breaks. Like it is, it's wild. It's just wild, guys. I have nothing to add really. Thanks for going on that tangent with me, everybody.
No problem.
I was just like, what the? I'll just laugh when I see it. All right, let's move into another segment. Let's do some. How about some fucking with black people? Boom.
Fucking with black people. Fucking with black people. Fucking with black people. Fucking with black people.
All right, guys, fucking with black people time. Let's go. OnlyFans model Courtney Clenny is arrested at Hawaii rehab and charged with murdering her boyfriend.
Oh,
her black boyfriend. An OnlyFans influencer has been arrested at a rehab facility in Hawaii, charged with murder her boyfriend at their Miami home. Yeah, this happened back in like April. A lot of people online were like, yeah, so she did it, and they were mad because they were like, the only reason police not doing that because she killed a black man. And she's like this white influencer, woman.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, this white privilege of the police not wanting to do shit. I'm completely shocked, especially since we were cooperating with the investigation and offered to voluntarily surrender her. She was charged, said her lawyer. And they was like, nah, we'll come get her. We look forward to clearing her name in court. They say they have the lawyer says they have substantial evidence that proves she was a victim of domestic abuse and human trafficking before she stabbed her boyfriend to death. So this nigga was evil as shit. Now that it's the Snap defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every episode of Snap, you get to the 50th minute, you can time it. They come back from that last commercial break, the second to last commercial break, and it's always, once she got to court, he was beating her. He was always doing her dirty, da.
You ask everybody else around him, and people, it's one of those things where you go, it's a high percentage. This is true, but it's a percentage that people.
No, it's not. Because in these Snap, they normally pick people that's diabolical, and they got all this evidence that it's snapped. It's not
snapped. Okay,
regular life.
Okay, right. It's snapped.
It's like every other act was her being like, I found a man at the gas station. I fucked him. I said, wouldn't it be nice to kill my husband? I'd even give you $5,000. And then it's like, he never laid a hand on. They were always wonderful. All the family members.
Never heard them screaming at each other.
If anything, she used to beat him. He told me one time she beat me. I think she want me to die. And I said, boy, don't worry about it. And then at the 50th,
he said he was afraid for his life. Right.
And at the 50th minute, all of a sudden he was beating me secretly for years. I just never told anybody. There's no evidence. I never took pictures, never went to the hospital. I just kept it a secret for 50 years. And then decided to kill him after taking out 17 life insurances on him. And it's like, so I guess believe all women. So we gotta pretend that we believe this in this courtroom, but go to jail. Yes. Clenny and Ambaselli, a cryptocurrency trader, had been dating less than 2 years, and their relationship was tumultuous. She was arrested for domestic battery in Las Vegas. Police were called to their home in Austin, Texas on several occasions. So yeah, a lot of people have been speculating that she killed him. Now, obviously, she got to get her day in court, but
people getting these toxic relationships.
Yeah, and I don't remember if this was also the dude where they like looked up his old tweets and saw him talking shit about black women or not. I don't remember if it was him or a different dude, because it was like people was like, this is a racial injustice, and then they found the tweets and was like, it's not that in racial injustice.
Somebody said it is him.
Okay, yeah. So a lot of people stopped caring about it after that. I understand, but yeah, it looked like they finally trying to get some justice in this. Yeah. So they even have that in here. Apparently, his brother had posted an Instagram post. As a family, we strongly disagree with the ignorant repulsive tweets from my then high school age brother that have recently surfaced. However, the tweets do not diminish our demand for a thorough investigation into Toby's murder or negate the necessity for justice. It's been a week since my brother was brutally senselessly killed. Courtney Taylor Clinton's callous actions have not been met with an ounce of remorse. We've seen videos of Courtney kissing her dolls while covered in what we believe to be my brother's blood and casually getting drinks at a hotel bar days later while my brother lay in the morgue. So yeah, he is the one with the tweets that was talking shit about black women. But I guess doesn't change if he was murdered, you know. All right, Karen, 0 to 100.
This is a 100 because for me, it's more about the, you know, because when you talk about it, like they've been called several times, so it's like, hey, this was a problem. Y'all possibly shouldn't have been together in the first place. It is still fucked up that you took his life and you mosed on about your life. And so now, regardless of how toxic your relationship was, my family member is dead. It's a problem.
Yeah, I give it 100 too. But also, like, part of the 100 is the like worshiping of white women that some of these brothers fall into. I know we live in a white supremacist country and we're programmed to the white woman is everything. You know, we supposed to be, you know, sitting around thinking like, you know, white women represent all this greatness and that black women represent all this negativity, and regardless of how much of that negativity is because of the same shit that's affecting us.
Right.
You know, a lot of these dudes fall into this shit, and it's like, it's weird that it never clicks the other way. Like, if this was a black woman that did this to this dude, threads, brothers would be, you know,
up in arms.
Yeah, you know, but when it's a white woman do some shit like this, which, let's be honest, of the likelihood to get away with doing some shit to a brother like this, it's gonna be a white woman that's more than likely to get away with this shit. It never goes the other way. You know what I mean? And that kind of bothers me a bit, because it's like his love of whiteness and this white woman blinded him obviously to so much shit. Obviously he was putting up with shit that was supposed to be the opposite of what they claim these white women is about, and this is how black women act. Right, this was what you say black women act like. You know what I'm saying? This is the negativity that so many dudes put at the feet of black women, and he got killed loving that white woman to death, loving whiteness to death like that. Like, it's sad.
Yeah, and what's so fucked up is like, white women are people too, and it's one of these things where people get so caught up into that perspective that they forget like the shit that you're saying is actually demeaning to all women, actually. But hey,
yeah, it's just, I mean, yeah, anybody who would take it as a compliment obviously got a problem in the first place. Mm-hmm. And if y'all sharing bonding over mutual hatred of black women, that's terrible. But just the fact that you would denigrate black women, end up with a white woman like this, and she take your life, I mean, there's some irony to that is just fucking palpable. And it's all because niggas just
playing field is magnificent, man. Snow bunnies everywhere now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like sometimes I'm on a ski trip, and because I ain't never pulled so many before. You know, it's like I go to these clubs down here in downtown, and it's like snow bunny heaven. You know, blonde hair, brunette hair. Hey, sometimes I go for the freaky one, the purple blue, you know, hair. I like the Caucasian girls. They like to feel on me. I like to feel on them. Double D's, hey, that's what it is.
Just lost
them pogs.
Alabama disbands their police force. Alabama City disbands their police force over racist text messages.
How many of them was it? 3?
Vincent, Alabama has voted to disband his police force after the revelation of racist text messages exchanged between 2 of his officers. In the exchange, which recently surfaced on social media, one user named 752 asked, What do y'all call a pregnant slave? To this, one person who was not identifiable through text responds with question marks. The user 752 then responds, buy one, get one. Free. BOGO. The messages were first reported by AL.com on Tuesday. You do know they can do a record. You know what? It's fine. I'd rather y'all be stupid. Don't warn them. Just go ahead, keep texting.
Mm-hmm.
Early on Tuesday, the police chief, James Shrigley, said that the department had conducted an internal investigation and that they had taken appropriate disciplinary action. But on Thursday, he himself was identified as one of the officers who was terminated.
So they had to fire all 5 of y'all. They was like, look, everybody got to go.
Assistant Chief John L. Goss was also terminated, and the city council then voted.
They was in the What's Up app cutting the food.
The What's Up app.
I mean, what do you call that shit? I keep calling it.
It's just WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
And the city council then voted to disband the whole department. On Friday, the sheriff's office on Shelby County said in a statement that they condemned these actions, and their office was helping citizens with emergency law enforcement services. The population of the town is about 2,000, with fewer than 500 African Americans and only 8 Hispanic people. Now y'all done got a whole police force because these niggas couldn't stop being racist.
Yeah, now we need to hire, and now we got to replace all the positions and actually be like, have you been in the chat posting shit? We need to comb your Reddit.
What do you call a slave? BOGO?
It's pregnant.
I'm saying, like, that's not even like a good joke.
No, it's not. It's just racist.
Yeah, like,
it's not even funny.
Yeah, like, what made y'all think that was funny? Cause
at least be funny with the racist ass jokes.
Yeah, it's not even a good one.
No, it's not. I come up with them better than that, and y'all know I'm terrible.
Yeah, good grief. Anyway, 0 to 100 though, Karen.
Oh, that get a 100.
100. Yeah, I give it a Dracarys. Do your damn job. What's the racism part of it? Speaking of which, Mississippi police chief fired after leaked audio captured racist rant, him bragging about killing 13 people.
What?
Yeah. A police chief was secretly recorded bragging about shooting and killing people in the line of duty, including a black man who he claimed to have shot more than 100 times in a racist, homophobic rant. Former Lexington Police Department Chief Sam Dobbins was fired Wednesday after the city's board of aldermen voted to oust him in a session that lasted more than an hour. The vote came after a former officer leaked a recording of the conversation he had with the chief in April. The officer, Robert Lee Hooker, gave the secretly recorded audio to Julian, a civil rights and international human rights organization, which was released it to the media. Riling up the small city of 1,600, about 60 miles north of Jackson. About 80% of the city, nearly 1,300 people, are black, census data shows. The newly appointed interim police chief, Charles Henderson, who was black, told USA Today in an interview going back to the last story. That was a weird distinction where they said less than 500 people are black in a 2,000 people town. Hey, man. That's a fourth of the town.
Right. When you talk about 2,000 people, that is a big population.
And let me guess who them cops be bothering the most. Fuck out of here.
Right.
Anyway, in an interview Friday, that the language used by his predecessor is something typically that I wouldn't use and I wouldn't want anybody employed with under my administration to use. Something I typically wouldn't use. I'm gonna need a full-throated. I wouldn't use that language. I wouldn't typically talk like that. In the audio, Dobbins can be heard bragging that he shot and killed 13 people in the line of duty, including a black man who he says he shot 119 times, according to a copy of the 16-minute report obtained by USA Today. He could be heard saying he would smash suspects through a window if they got out of line. Dobbins.
So now we got to go back and everything you did, reinvestigate and all that shit, like reopen up your cases to be sure that you did the right thing and shit like that. Like, and probably release people that may supposed to be in jail, but you out here fucking around.
During the conversation was first reported by the Mississippi Center of Investigative Reporting, Dobbins can be heard saying he would smash suspects into the window if they got a line. Dobbins, who is white, can be heard using multiple racist and homophobic slurs as he claims he would defend Hooker on the job. When contacted by the news outlet, he denied using slurs and talked about the number of people he shot or killed. I don't talk like that, he told the outlet. Hooker, who is black, shout out to him. They thought he was one of the good ones, one of the bad ones, I guess. He was down with one of the good old boys, and he said, I'm gonna just.
He said, "You thought?"
Okay, you talking to my sleeve?
He was like,
talk directly into my lapel when he said that.
He was like, "You thought?" He hit the record and put that iPhone down and was like, "Okay."
But he started with the department this year, but resigned days after having a verbal fight with Dobbins. Cardell Wright, a paralegal for Julian, told USA Today he rejoined the department but was frustrated with his leadership. Before resigning for a second time, Hooker secretly recorded a conversation with the chief. I just got to the point where you're not doing the people right. You're not doing right. So therefore, let me expose you for what you are, who you are. Jill Colin Jefferson.
Got filled up.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that is just, it goes on from there. But yeah, 0 to 100.
Oh, that's the 100.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a Dracarys for me. The damn police. Always fucking around. All right, let's get out of here on some fun stuff with some Guess the Race. How's that sound to you?
That's fine. Yay.
All right, then. Let's get this Guess the Race going.
What time is it?
It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race. It's time to guess the race.
Guess the Race, the game we go all around the globe, find different articles, and guess the race of the people involved. Here we go.
Arm inside her Arcadia apartment, but a nurse is behind bars for discharging a firearm inside her Arcadia apartment, but she's being held without bail, even though she has no criminal record. Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes is looking into her case and spoke with her neighbor, who says that she almost got hit by gunfire.
To some, the sounds of a piano are calming and inspiring, but to one Arcadia woman, they can be triggering.
Then suddenly I hear shooting sound.
Literally triggering.
Suddenly, there's a straight bullet. When I saw the hole, and I just realized, oh, it's a real gunshot. So I called police immediately and take photo.
Pincine Lean has been giving piano lessons in her Arcadia apartment for nearly 3 years. But she says when Catherine Pugh moved into the apartment above her last year, she started complaining about all the noise. It all came to a point on Monday when Lean was getting ready for her next lesson. A bullet came flying through the ceiling, barely missing her as she scooted her piano bench in.
Within inches.
And that wasn't the only shot fired. Earlier in the afternoon, when Lean was making lunch, she heard a loud bang. She thought Pugh had slammed a door, but it turned out it was the first of 4 gunshots from Pugh's apartment.
Oh,
Lean says she was saved by her rice cooker.
The rice cooker was, just right below the bullet hole.
See for yourself the angle of that hole and where Lean was at the sink. She's convinced Pugh wasn't randomly shooting into the floor.
She listened to my noise. And
2 other bullet holes can be seen, one in Pugh's window, the other in the wall of her apartment. Police say those rounds hit 2 other units, but no one was hurt.
We found a intoxicated female in possession of 2 guns. We discovered she shot 2 rounds through a downstairs apartment unit, and she was exhibiting signs and symptoms of being drunk.
But it doesn't look like Pugh is going to be released anytime soon. Even though bail was initially set at $250,000, the judge did something rare. He deemed her to be a danger to the community and ordered her to be held without bail.
To us, that's absolutely tragic.
Carla Sarabia is Pugh's public defender. She was stunned to hear Pugh wouldn't be able to post bail, something usually reserved for the most severe cases. Pugh, a registered nurse at Huntington Hospital who won a nursing award in 2019, has no criminal record, but could be in for a long stretch in jail.
Conceivably until she goes to trial. And so that could take months. And in a serious case like this with the allegations, maybe even longer. And she's going to lose her job. She's going to lose her apartment. She's going to lose her livelihood.
Eyewitness News reached out to the judge in this case, but he declined to comment. Pugh's mother says her daughter does not belong behind bars.
She has no priors. She's a responsible person. She went to Berkeley. She got a scholarship. She got a 4.0. She is one of the best people I think ever put on this earth.
But Lean does not like the idea of Pugh returning to the apartment above her.
I'm afraid, but she will revenge.
In Arcadia, Rob Hayes.
Yeah, that you know, the mom's not the most unbiased person. I'll just put it that way. You know, can't expect the mom to be very unbiased, I guess. All right, Karen, guess the race of the shooter, whose name is Catherine Pugh.
I'm gonna go white. I think the victim. We're not guessing the victim. But
No,
the victim is
no,
Asian.
we're not guessing the victim. Okay. Let's see. Berkeley, one of the purple-haired Pauls.
Oh
no! One of them Caucasians. Not one of them Caucasians.
I like the Caucasian girls. They like to feel on me. I like to feel on them. Double D's. Hey, that's what it is.
As white as the rice in the rice cooker that saved Ling, white. Calamity Jane wanted to smoke, white. Pew Pew, white. I don't care that I can't do that, white. White. Former mayor of Baltimore, black. She white. White. Pew Pew, pink toe. The correct answer is white. And one person missed it.
Yeah, she could have killed that woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was purposely shooting in a direction that she thought that woman was in.
Yeah. 4 times in the kitchen. Yeah. And the mom ain't that's no excuse.
Mm-hmm.
It's her first time. Well, and last, hopefully. But we're gonna wait for her to kill the person.
Right. That's why the person was like, what you not gonna do is go back to your apartment so you can harass that woman and possibly kill her this time.
A landlord was arrested for allegedly torching an East Side home because she accused her tenants of not paying the rent.
Fair East Side.
Now, here's the thing. Do you accuse somebody of not paying the rent, or do they not pay the rent?
I don't think they paid the rent according to them.
Accused,
allegedly they didn't pay the rent. No,
right.
Either you paid it or you didn't. Ain't no in between.
It don't make it okay to burn the house down, but I doubt they paid the rent. I'm just saying. Bexar County Jail records show that Elizabeth Flores Romo, 35, was taken into custody overnight and charged with arson of a habitation / place of assembly. This happened at 4:15 p.m. on Thursday. A tenant in the apartment unit inside the house called the police because she said Romo, he said Romo, his landlord, broke into his unit and set fire to his door frame. Police officers responded to the scene but left because they did not find any evidence that Romo burned the door. An hour later, another tenant called police and told them that Romo's room was on fire. That tenant told officers that before the second fire, Romo used his phone to text a relative telling him that if she doesn't get her rent money, she's going to burn down the house. That seemed like enough evidence at that point.
Right.
The affidavit states that Romo admitted to setting the door on fire, but not starting the fire in her room. Oh, they set her up. She said she set the first fire because the tenants did not pay their rent on time and that they don't keep the inside clean. Police said they believe that Romo knowingly set the house ablaze, even though people were inside. Her bond is set at $30,000. Guess the race of Elizabeth Flores Romo.
Black.
Karen's going black. Let's check the chat room and see what they believe. Hispanic heifer. All right. Latina. Willing to destroy my own shit so the niggers can't have it. White passing Latina. Don't see a lot. Latina. Okay. So she set fire to the rain. White like Adele. Just use the water on her back to put it out. That was what was the name again? Elizabeth Flores Romo. Don't be slamming no doors and you don't pay rent here. Hot tamale Latina.
Is that Elizabeth Flores Romo?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, Latino. I was
Latina.
I was thinking about Romo.
Changing it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Karen's going with Latina, and guess what? You got it right. she does have that purple hair. That purple hair.
That purple hair.
And I think a couple people did miss it. And she ain't no Caucasian though, so she wasn't really white passing Latino. So
no.
All right, let's go to the bonus round. Karen is 2 for 2.
Yay!
Having a hot night tonight.
I ain't racist. How can I be racist about anybody or anything in my life? How can I?
Call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
It's time to get the race.
Gold chain wearing, fried chicken and biscuit eating, monkey eat, baboon, big thigh, fast running, high jumping, spear chucking, 360-degree basketball.
Shameless scoundrel uses fake $100 bill at boy's lemonade stand.
Scamming the kids.
Washington State Police were looking for the shameless scoundrel that used a counterfeit $100 bill at a child's lemonade stand. The fully grown man was caught on camera wearing sunglasses while he passed a fake banknote to Jeremy, 11. We're guessing the race of the kid here, guys.
Okay.
At his makeshift Everett concession stand earlier this summer. The cheapskate then put the squeeze on the unsuspecting kid when he asked for exact change, forcing the boy to dip into his allowance to hand over $85 of legal tender. Jeremy didn't know he had gotten a lemon of a big bill until he tried to spend it at a gas station. The scam left a sour taste in the mouths of investigators.
Oh, so now you got to give the babies the pen, the marks, the watercolor pens when they out there selling their lemonade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor babies.
This is why the babies should use Cash App. While our detectives work hard to bring closure to every case, this case struck a particular chord with them, and they want to do everything they can to get justice for Jeremy and catch this counterfeiter, the cops wrote on Facebook. Guess the race of 11-year-old little Jeremy.
Yours Jeremy's last name, but they didn't say.
Give me a second.
I'm gonna say Jeremy was white, but I didn't know.
I don't think they said.
They probably for the protection of the kid.
name.
Yeah, they probably didn't. So I'm assuming Jeremy's white.
Yeah. Okay. Let's check the chat room, see what they believe.
Guess the rest of the kid.
Yeah, the kid. I say white. White. The cops didn't tackle him, and no one called the cops because he set up shop. White. White. Black. Says yeah. The correct answer is didn't hold that bill up like his grandma taught him at her candy store. White. White boy. The correct answer is white. I think a couple people missed it. One person missed it. Yeah, the biggest clue he was white is that the news covered this. But right. I still remember that little black girl with the Karen calling the cops on her for lemonade stand in Chicago. But
for permits and shit.
For a bonus guess, Karen, guess the race of the people that gave him the fake $100 bill.
I'm gonna go back.
And you would be correct. This is a blurry ass picture, but I seen like that look like some niggas to me. I feel like they just saw this. They saw this white kid. It was like, fuck him.
He was a sucker, right?
They just said, fuck him. Fuck it. His parents got it, and they so wrong.
That baby.
So wrong. It's so messed up. But all right. Sword ratchet this time. Sword ratchetness, you know what that means. You go all around the globe, find different articles with these stories involving swords, and we read them, trying to warn y'all. Let's see. A victim was threatened with a baseball bat, an axe, and a sword during a brawl.
Goddamn.
Yeah. Some motherfucking
trifecta.
Some motherfucking some rumble shit.
He came prepared to rumble, didn't he?
Yeah, this is the greasers versus the fucking the Jets or whatever the fuck. Jimmy with the heater and shit. A man and a teenager had between them a baseball bat, an axe, and a sword during the incident, motivated by revenge. They started threatening a man on his Foresttown driveway, then dropped their weapons, and there was a brawl. Dropped their weapons?
Oh, so they was like, we're gonna fuck you up. Oh, wait a minute, you want to shoot a felon? All right, let's brawl.
Yeah, what was the point?
Hell is this? I got the advantage. Why would I drop my weapons?
They did that thing like at the end of Impossible White Man movies where somebody got a gun, they be like, oh, of course you a big bad man with your gun. They be like, oh, I'm gonna put my gun down and whoop your ass with these hands.
We're gonna shoot a felon. What? No.
He said,
get this axe.
The judge, James Sampson, said you two had between you a baseball bat, an axe, and a sword in Foresttown. After he driving to the victim's address, they took the weapons out, started threatening the victim. Fortunately, no one was injured and the episode was short-lived. You dropped the weapons. There was a brawl. Armed police stopped you afterwards. This was an ugly incident. The weapons are nasty. There was a degree of planning. It appears in the pre-sentence report the motivation was revenge. Ramos has been in custody since September 24th of last year and has now served the equivalent of a 16-month sentence.
Ooh.
She said her client was asked by the co-accused to drive him to the address. The Ramos clearly did so without thinking about the consequences. It wasn't his dispute. Ramos, who pleaded guilty to possessing a bladed article and afraid, was given a total of 18 months in prison. Shit, he almost out. 2 more months. The 17-year-old has said he was previously punched in the lip by the victim of this offense. Well, now they ain't got you twice. They punched you in the lip. You ran up there with weapons, didn't use them, got arrested, and now you got to go to jail? Just what a loss. Ben Robinson, representing the teenager, said he recognized what he did was stupid and entirely unnecessary. The teenager had wound himself up and asked Ramos to take him to the victim's address, said Mr. Robinson. And he made an impulsive decision to take the items from the back of the trunk to scare the man. Since he was charged, he has been recalled to custody on another sentence. He also admitted afraid and possession of bladed article and received 10 months in custody, which will run alongside the sentence he is now serving. Swords, they're not making people's lives better, y'all.
No,
be
they're
careful
not.
out there.
Stop it.
All right, that's it, man. We'll be back for premium people. Tomorrow's Balls Deep and Friday is the Nerd Off. Looking forward to the Nerd Off both. I mean, we gotta talk about Serena Williams tomorrow.
Yeah, we do.
You know, we gotta talk about everything happening with the fucking DCEU Friday. So it's gonna be a bit loaded show. Thanks to everybody that listens. If you're not premium, the blackouttips.com/premium, get in on it. The Nerd Off and Balls Deep Sports are live shows, so you can hang out in the chat room just like this. You get an email and you come hop on in and you hang out in the chat room and talk with us. All right, y'all, that's it. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody.